Hi, I'm Rosalind, and I'm here with my teammate Brenda. We're both thrilled and excited to have the opportunity to chat with Emma. Emma, thank you for joining us. We have a lot of questions we can't wait to ask you, and we're eager to learn from your experiences and wisdom. So, to start with, could you share the story of how you first entered the sales profession and what motivated or inspired you to pursue a career in sales?
Yeah, for sure. I'd be happy to share my journey and why I decided to get into sales. I never really planned on working in sales. I was studying marketing in school because I was interested in the psychology of why people buy things and um, I guess like the theory of selling and why people do what they do. But then I started interning at a startup and I was able to kind of help and gain some insight into sales and marketing. And then I was kind of surprised with how much I enjoyed working in it. It was really fun and cool to work with clients and help them and see how I could make a difference in their business. And then I decided to pursue a career and more positions in sales. Yeah.
That's perfect. So throughout your sales career, how have you seen the sales profession evolve and what pivotal moments or experiences shaped your journey, basically?
Yeah, when I started in sales, it was mostly about cold calls and calling as many people as you can, kind of quantity over quality. Now, with all the tech and social media that we have, it's changed quite a bit. We can tailor our approach to each client, making it a lot more personal. It's much more relationship oriented than it used to be. So it's about like really good communication, almost being friends with your clients and maintaining those relationships.
Thank you for that. Thank you again, Emma, for joining us today. For our second point, the question is, when it comes to prospecting for new clients, what strategies have proven most effective for you, and how do you adapt your approach based on the industry or market?
Um, I think finding new clients is a mix of old school and new for me. I use personalized messages, social media, and sometimes I attend events. It's all about knowing who you're trying to reach, knowing and understanding your audience and who your clients are. For tech clients, I use LinkedIn a lot, and for more traditional businesses, sorry, I'll go to trade shows.
Mhm. And what innovative techniques have you implemented recently to improve your prospective success rate, and what were the outcomes?
Lately, I've been using content marketing, like writing articles, sharing stories that show that we are experts. This has helped attract clients before I even need to reach out to them. It's been working pretty well, and it's starting to make conversations a lot easier.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. So for our third point, would you describe the strategies or approaches that you found most effective in identifying and engaging potential new clients within untapped markets or segments?
Yeah, I use the spin method. It helps me really get into what my clients need by asking them about their situation, their problems, and their goals and what they want to achieve. It's not just about selling, but really like understanding and showing how we can help and showing them how we can help them.
Thank you. But so for how have you integrated technology and social media platforms into your client prospecting process, and what impact has this on your outreach success rates?
Well, using tech and social media has been pretty big for me. LinkedIn helps me research and start talking to new clients without being too pushy. Our CRM system lets me keep track of all my conversations, so it can be helpful to reach relevant clients.
And for our fourth point, could you share an example of how you have structured a sales presentation to transition smoothly from discussing products, features to highlighting its advantages, and ultimately focusing on the benefits for the client? Like, how did this approach impact the client's decision-making process?
Yeah, I use the FAB method. starting with what our product does, why it's better, and how it can really make a difference for the client. For example, I show how our software can save them time and money, which usually really gets their attention. Everyone wants to save money.
Sure. And what strategies do you employ when a client seems skeptical about the benefits of your product or service, even after you outlined the features and advantages?
Yeah, if a client's unsure, I usually will show them real examples and of how we've helped other people, like sharing success stories, that really helps add some benefit to what we're offering.
Mhm. Sure, thank you.
So, what strategies do you employ to develop and articulate a compelling, unique value proposition, and how do you ensure it resonates with your target audience?
I do a lot of research to make sure I really understand what the client needs. Then I work with our team to make sure our product meets those needs. We use clear language to explain why we're different and why we're better.
Yeah, I love that answer. I like to do the same for myself as well. So, another question would be like, would you describe what makes your product or service stand out from competitors, particularly in how it addresses the unique needs of your customers? Like, what specific benefits do clients gain by choosing you?
Our product is customizable, which means it can be adjusted to fit exactly what our client needs. It's the personal touch and why many of our clients choose us over our competitors. They know we're really focused on helping them to succeed.
Okay, thank you.
Also, in handling objections from prospects, what methodologies or techniques have you found most effective in turning objections into opportunities for agreement?
Handling objections is a crucial part of the sales process, and I view each objection as an opportunity to deepen the communication and build trust. One effective method I use is the feel, felt, found technique. When a prospect raises an objection, I first empathize with their concern, acknowledging how they feel. Then I'll share how others may have felt the same way, and which helps the prospect feel more understood and less isolated. Finally, I will explain that these others found after deciding to move forward with our solution, turning the objection into a positive outcome.
Thank you. That's very interesting. And in your experience, how often do you see objections as a sign of genuine interest from the prospect? Can you describe how you pivot the situations into deeper discussion that lead to conversions?
Yeah, I see objections as a chance to understand the client better. I use a method where I acknowledge their concerns, share how others felt the same, and found a solution with us. It's about turning challenges into opportunities.
Yes, thank you.
That's a good way to describe. So, how do you approach the closing stage of a sale, and what closing strategies or techniques have consistently yielded positive results for you?
Yeah, I use the assumptive close technique, acting as if like a client is already on board, which helps nudge them toward making a decision. When an objection comes up later, I listen carefully to figure out if they're serious concerns or just hesitations and try to address them directly.
That's really, really good answer. When faced with an objections close to the closing stage, how do you distinguish between genuine concerns and diversions, and what methods do you employ?
When it gets tricky right before we're about to close the deal, I think it's super important to really listen and figure out if the client is getting cold feet or if they have real worries. If they're asking a lot of questions and want more details, that usually means they're pretty interested, but just might need like a little bit more convincing. If they're being really vague, they might not be completely sold on the idea just yet. The whole point is to get a real conversation going so I can understand exactly what they need and how I can help them. It's all about making sure we're both kind of on the same page and they feel confident in their decision to go with us.
Thank you.
That's very interesting. From your perspective, what are the keys attributes or characteristics that differentiate a successful B2B sales professional from others in the field?
Being empathetic, adaptable, and really knowledgeable is the key. Empathy helps us connect with clients. Being adaptable keeps me ahead in the changing markets, and knowing my stuff earns the client's trust. Usually, you kind of need to know what you're selling.
Sure. And how do you continually develop and refine these key attributes to stay competitive and successful in the dynamic landscape of B2B sales?
I always keep learning. I have to keep learning and keep researching because everything is changing relatively quickly. I look for feedback. I embrace new tech and try to stay on top of it. Always keeping my skills up to date. I network as often as I can with peers. This kind of gives you new insights, keeps me competitive, kind of keeps you in the know of what's going on within the industries you're in.
That's very true. Thank you.
Thank you. So for students aspiring to succeed in sales and marketing, what advice or recommendations would you give to help them navigate and excel in this dynamic field?
My advice for students would be to stay curious. My advice for students would be to stay curious and keep learning. The sales market in the world in general just changes very fast these days, so it's important to keep up. Being resilient and adaptable is also crucial because you face, a lot of challenges. Being okay with taking no for an answer, because that'll probably happen a lot at first. Don't forget to maintain your digital skills. It's essential. You probably have to learn new software constantly, just be on top of it.
Fair enough. In today's dynamic and competitive market, like what key skills and habits or continuous learning strategies do you believe are essential for students aiming to thrive in the ever-evolving field of sales and marketing?
When we're close to sealing a deal and an objection pops up, I really focus on listening. Are they just hesitating or do they have real concerns? If it's a real concern, they'll usually ask more about it. If it feels more like they're hesitating, their questions might be less clear. Here's what I do. I dive into what's bothering them. I ask them questions to get to the heart of the issue and then hit them with facts, stories, or examples, hopefully to answer their worries. This way we can move past the roadblock and get closer to a yes. The main thing is to understand them better so I can offer what they really need. To keep getting better, I'm always on the lookout for new things to learn, whether it's through mentorship, online classes, or just taking on new challenges that push me out of my comfort zone. Success in this field is really all about learning from every experience and always looking for new ways to improve.
Thank you for that insight, Emma. And lastly, in reflecting on your sales career, could you share a narrative about a particular challenging sales situation where resilient creativity or strategic thinking play a crucial role in turning the tide? And in the end, did the challenges lead to a successful deal?
Yeah, one time my boss challenged me to close a deal with a relatively tough client and to do it pretty quickly. I had to think on my feet, so I arranged a personal meeting, showed them exactly how our solution could help. It was a bit of a risk, but it paid off. They were impressed. We got the deal, and it taught me really the power of personal connection and thinking creatively under pressure.
Thank you so much for this interview, Emma. And thanks for helping us and all the students at George Brown College.
Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.